I'm your host, Kimberly Henry, and I'm here with Travis Black from Travis G. Black & Associates, and we are discussing DUI. Travis, when someone is stopped for a DUI, what is the first thing that they should do?
Well, normally somebody that's being stopped doesn't understand why they're being stopped unless they know they've run a red light or something. So the first thing you want to do is, one, is to show the officer that you're not a threat. And what I mean by that is don't be reaching under the seat, don't be grabbing things out of your purse. What you want to do is have both hands on the steering wheel and have your windows open so the officer can talk to you.
And what about the tests and things that they want to put you through? Is it a good idea to refuse those or just go along with it?
Well, there's different schools of thought. If an officer comes up to you, normally they're going to ask for your driver's license and registration. And then if they smell alcohol, that's normally the first thing they will do is they'll detect an odor of alcohol, or your driving is so erratic. They'll ask you to step out of the car and ask you to perform some tests. My recommendation is you do not perform the tests. Okay,
so just a polite refusal, and then is the next step to get in touch with someone like yourself?
Well, there's a whole line of things that will happen if that officer wants you to perform the test and you refuse, or if you go ahead and do the test. One of the other things they're going to normally do, at least in the state of California, is they're going to ask you to blow into a little test tube, and that will tell them what your blood alcohol is. In California, if you're 0.8 or above, then you are presumed under the influence. So if you blow into that machine, then that's the next thing they're going to do. After that, depending on whether you blow into it or not, but let's say you do blow into it, then what they're going to do is they're going to inform you that you're under arrest. My recommendation is don't argue, don't fight, just do whatever the officer tells you to do. After you're going to be taken down to a station, and at that time they're going to ask you about doing one of two tests, either a breath test in a big breath test analyzer, it's a big machine, or blood alcohol where they're going to take you to a facility and draw blood. I would never give a breath test. Your blood test is going to be the best for you. That's my opinion. After that, then what's going to happen is you're going to be booked for DUI, driving under the influence, and you're going to be given a citation. They're going to keep you in custody it really depends on the agency, but you could be held for up to 6 hours in a holding tank and then released. I think your next question was what should they do next, and that is definitely get a hold of me.
And what can you do for someone who is charged with a DUI?
Well, for one thing, in California, you have 10 days, a very, very short period of time, that you have to notify DMV that you want to appeal a DMV hearing. Because what's going to happen is if you don't do that, you're going to automatically lose your driver's license. So you only have 10 days to do it. And it's a very simple thing for us. It can be rather intimidating for somebody that is not a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Furthermore, we hold your hand throughout the whole process. We can sit down and depending on what county you were arrested in, each county has different guidelines. We can tell you what to expect, and it depends on how much alcohol you had in your system. The more alcohol, the more severe the penalties. I am a retired police officer, so I know the games law enforcement plays. People have always asked me, does law enforcement have a quota system? Police officers have a quota. And so I know the games they play. I know the tests they run. And I think I'm the best person for you.
It sounds like you have a lot of helpful information and the right experience to help walk somebody through this. So if you are interested or think that you might need some help with the DUI process and you want to get in touch with Travis Black, Call the number in the top right-hand corner or click the free consultation button here right below the phone number. Travis, thank you so much for sharing this information.